Welcome, everybody. This is Mr. Nice, and you're watching Kung Fu Fanta. Let me go ahead and get my banner up here. Again, welcome, everybody. So today we have Marwa becomes violent with villagers in Nabahanzi, Kenyan living abroad. And I said this one day would happen, that this would one day happen back in 2023, that the villagers will push back. And it's true. So we got to see that today. Mogesi is the person that we're going to be viewing his clip in his video. He was the person that was filming, and he was the person who was addressing Marwa, addressing the driver, as you can see in the truck, about running over some vegetables on someone else's property while trying to deliver materials to, I think it's his sister's construction site. So I'm not positive about that. So anyway, I also am streaming live on Kick. So if anybody from Kick is new, this is Mr. Nice with Kung Fu Fanta, and I'm new on the platform over on Kick. All right. So anyway, me and Kenyon living abroad. He's not going to be here today. We have addressed this situation quite a few times in the past, and we addressed it in a way that the way Marwa is trying to influence foreigners coming into Kenya is specifically Nabahanzi to his villa. He made many claims, allegedly many claims that he wants passport bros. He wants these guys to come to his village, take advantage of the young women and girls that are in that village, allegedly. And also, hiring people and not paying them. There's many examples of that. He has this thing where he doesn't like to be filmed in other people's videos a lot, but it's okay for him to film anybody he thinks he wants to film because it's okay to him. So this is something that's very common with this guy. We've also seen situations in his compound in Nabahanzi where he has actually had people be injured. A little boy was injured by Getriba. Getriba is his driver. That's also his neighbor in Nabahanzi. Was allegedly the one who hit a little boy. I think that was late 2023 or early 2024. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get into this right here. Let me go ahead and start playing this video so we can go ahead and react to it. So this is the video, as you can see here on the screen. This is not Getriba. This is Mogesi getting ready to address the driver, who was actually the one who ran over, that started the situation where Marwa later on in this video is going to be getting violent with with one or two villagers. Okay, so here we go.
Bro, this is what we call stupidity. Bro, Peter in a good manners, bro. Respect villagers. Respect villagers. Hakuna. Kuna baadhi ya vitu zenye inafaa. Angalia. This is nonsense. Guys, this is nonsense. Ona. This is nonsense. This is nonsense. Stupidity.
Okay, so let me go back just a little bit on this. As you can see there, that's obvious. That's a big tire track, not from a normal car, but from a big truck. So that dump truck, that delivery, this is the vehicle that ran over these small, newborn crops that were growing on the side of the road. So the man that's complaining, he looks very much like Mogesi. I'm thinking that's his uncle or some other relative that's complaining. So him and Mogesi are complaining about the situation. And as you can see, that's definitely a fresh tire mark, and they're addressing the situation. Here we go.
Nonsense. This is nonsense. Stupidity. Hakuna. 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 Pita pole pole, bro. Pita pole pole. Pita pole pole. Gonga hii. Gonga hii.
Okay, so it's getting more and more heated. So let's pay close attention. I will be going back and forth a little bit on this. I probably should also play the English subtitle version that JT Podcast actually created today in response to this particular thing. But let's just go ahead and go ahead and just watch it through Mogesi, and then we'll go to the other one so we can see what was said, because two languages were spoken here, actually three, a little bit of English, Kiswahili, and Korean. So Korean is the main tribe in Navahanzi, and that was spoken. So basically, JT Podcast was the one who actually subtitled that. We'll check that out later, but let's go ahead and watch directly from Mogesi here. And as you can see there, this road is small, but trucks go in and out of this road. I've seen trucks before go in and out of this road and other roads in Nabahanzi without ever running over somebody's property, which is the crops that are being grown either on the left or the right side of the road. So as you can see here, he actually is destroying, the driver here is destroying some of the crops on the other side of the road on somebody else's property, or maybe the same person. And as you can see here in the upper left, we already see Marwa, Iam Marwa, already getting pissed off. He's not wearing his googles, and he's basically now trying to address Mogesi about complaining about what the driver did in response. So he thinks it's okay that if whatever he's doing and whatever he needs to get done, if somebody else's property is destroyed, it's okay, allegedly. But when his property is getting destroyed, it's not okay. So this isn't like this is like a catch-all, not like a catch-22 situation, but this is like a situation where if you don't go with my narrative, then you're against me. If you go with my narrative, then we're going to be best of friends. Let's go.
There's no hakuna government hapa. What we call law. Kuna kitu inaitwa sheria. Iam Marwa kimwe. Kuna njia inapita hapa. Hata wewe unajua mimi sijaongea vibaya. Hata mtu unamwambia tu. Kuna njia inapita hapa. Uone huko hata. Uone huko hata.
Okay, sorry about that. I'm going to go back just a little bit. I refreshed my screen and it took out the video. So let's start about right here.
Gonga hii. Hapa kuna njia government. There is no hakuna njia government hapa. Hii barabara. Wewe. Nenda kufunga hata.
Okay, so this is Mogesi. This is his motorcycle that he got on. So he's just riding around. As you can see here, this is, for those who don't know over at Kick, this is Uncle Mo. This is actually the uncle of Iam Marwa, the guy in the blue shirt. And he's only about a year older than his nephew. And basically Marwa controls pretty much everybody around him. So he pays money, he pays people to do things for him that are very questionable. And Uncle Mo here, unfortunately, is somebody, he's like a yes man. So whatever you tell him based on the influence that Marwa has over him, he's going to go ahead and do it. Okay, so you see Marwa right there on the right. He's getting really pissed off. He's complaining to Mogesi, and he's saying stuff like, to unalive him, actually, in another language. And like, we'll go back to the other video that I'm talking about later with JT Podcast. He's talking about unaliving. He wants his phone taken away. The guy on the bike is filming, so he wants that phone or that camera being taken away so the evidence doesn't get out that he is actually being violent towards villagers and talking to them like they're nothing.
Mimi mzee na kuheshimu. Unaangalia pita hapa. Mzee na kuheshimu. Kuna njia inapita hapa. Unaongelesha. Mzee unaongelesha. Hivi Marwa akimwe. Kuna njia inapita hapa. Hata wewe unajua mimi sijaongea vibaya. Hata mtu na mbona tu. Kuna njia inapita hapa. Uone huko hata. Uone huko hata. Huko hata wewe. Hayo huko hata.
So Marwa right here is very pissed off that anybody addresses him. So like when anybody does address this guy, he does get into a situation where he's very pissed off. Again, this is the part where he's actually yelling at Mogesi, basically saying that, you know, there's no problem with what we're doing, but what you're doing to me, addressing me, is not right. I don't like it. I don't like being exposed and everything like that. But unfortunately, this is him. Now, for the people who don't know him showing his face without the glasses, the sunshades and everything is he has those on like 99.9% of the time. So I guess, you know, it's like he needed the fresh air to hit his eyes. One of his eyes he cannot see. Okay. But this guy has a situation where he's explained about when he was abused by his stepfather back in the day, and that's what caused him to lose sight in one of his eyes. And you would think with that type of situation, with that type of experience in his life, especially at a young age, growing up, and the quote unquote success of him begging for a lot of money online from subscribers, getting a lot of money that he's abusing, but also making a lot of money off YouTube. There's a time where one guy named Michele Ponte said that he saw his account, his YouTube account, to where he was making about $20,000 per month USD. And that was back in the day when he was constantly traveling, promoting the Passport Bro lifestyle of S tourism, you know, in Colombia and other countries like that. But let's go ahead and go.
Okay. Angalia kama zile nini zimekanyaga vizuri. Angalia kama zile nini zile doza alveje. Hii kamera haiendi popote pale. Leo iko mbaya mbaya. Foto na ra. Pesa. Foto na ra. Marwa. Achana mruna. Shikaje mo. Mungu moja yendi popote.
Okay, so this is where Mo was commanded to take away his camera, and right now they're physically struggling. So this is where basically I don't think any blows were given, but we don't see that on camera. Hopefully somebody else that's in that area that was there will hopefully film a different angle. But it's gotten physical from this point on. Okay, so Mogesi during the struggle lost his phone on the ground. This guy with the baby picked it up for him, and he got it back. I don't know if he's a friend of Mogesi or a foe, but at this point, this guy picked it up, and basically nobody else got it. He got his phone back so he can upload this video. Now, I can't tell who that is wearing those pants. That's probably Mogesi. But as you can see, it looks like his right knee is probably hitting the ground. He's definitely almost doing the split. So this is a real struggle to make sure that he keeps his camera from being stolen or, you know, manhandled by Uncle Mo and Iam Marwa, to try to take his phone away from him so they can get rid of the evidence of how Iam Marwa was acting this day based on this situation. Now let's go back a little bit right there.
Nipatie kamera yangu. Nipatie kamera yangu. Napiga na kuheshimu.
Okay, so I definitely saw at one point the blue shirt from Iam Marwa. His hand was in there, but mostly this was Mo. As you can see, Mo is wearing the camouflage looking shirt, so you definitely saw his hand moving around trying to get the camera. So when you saw his hand in the camera view or his arm with the shirt, that means his hand was very close to the camera, to that lens. So you know what it is that he was trying to do. He was trying to grab it. You can see Marwa right there is also trying to grab it. The finger right there is, I'm sure, is Mogesi. You know, got his camera back and he's filming the evidence of the situation. Now, Marwa doesn't want anybody to see what's going on this particular day. I think this happened probably 2 or 3 days ago. I don't, you know, Mogesi probably couldn't upload it right away, but for whatever reason, this is the situation that took place. But I want to go back again a little bit, and here we go. He's already struggling trying to get the camera from him. And there's Marwa. There was Marwa on the left side of Mo, also trying to get in. This gentleman in the pink shirt is trying to help Mogesi, you know, try to keep his phone in his hand. So this is the guy that actually had his crops destroyed by the truck driver delivering the materials. Okay, so real quick, we're gonna see Mo's hand just real quick. You can look for the camouflage. Right there, that's his hand. That's the camouflage shirt. So he was struggling trying to get this camera from Mogesi. Oh, this is something I really didn't notice. That looked like Mogesi's face struggling. Let's see if we can see that. Okay, so I don't know. That looks like Mogesi to me. And we didn't really show his face, but that looks like Mogesi struggling to keep his camera. Like looks like he's on the ground. So remember, we saw him with his right knee looked like it was on the ground and his left foot was stretched out. So to me, this is Mogesi. You can see this is a real struggle. This is not an act. This is not AI. Some people are actually calling it AI. This is a real struggle for him keeping the camera so he can keep the evidence of what happened this day. Oh, did you see that? Marwa was coming up. Let's try to get that again. Yeah, that was Mogesi. Okay, so right here, look for the blue shirt. It looks like Marwa was running up on him. Yep, that was him. And that was his voice as well. Okay. So shout out to Mogesi, man. Big up to you, bro. I'm glad that you caught this. It's not a funny matter or anything like that. I watched Neo Trends today. I watched AM Carroll. I watched Nairobi Teacher, and I also watched JT podcast on this whole thing. So I'm sure On Trending is going to come out a little bit later. So I like to say hello to some people in the chat. We got Nairobi Teacher that came in. Thank you for coming in. We got Cecilia Herbert. Thank you very much. Kenny Living Abroad. And Ava Miller, it looks like you just came in. Thank you for being here. So Ava Miller says, I was supposed to be blind and adult, and look what okay. I was supposed to be blind and adult, and look what he's doing. He's fighting this young man. He's nothing but a Jezebel. Yeah, he does act like a Jezebel, doesn't he? a male Jezebel, unfortunately. It's not a good look, of course, but this is something that we knew Marwa was about. Some of us, like Nairobi teacher said, I would never suspect that Marwa would do this. I did. And the reason why I felt that way is because the day that, for some of you that know, when he was yelling at Alex on top of the roof, when he was rebuilding his roof on his villa, and he was yelling at him saying he's lazy. I think he said he's lazy and all that other stuff. And he's shaking his hands very violently on the phone, right? And yelling like violently towards Alex, like he was a nobody, like get up here and work. Alex's job was to be the guard for that compound. And Alex, what was he doing on top of that? Alex was feeding the animals. He was cleaning the horses and all that other stuff. And even one day he got mauled by, I think, by a cow or a bull, you know, in that compound. And he was okay, but this is what happened to him. And this is how he treated him. And that's one of the villagers that Marwa never paid him his money after Marwa fired him. So this is something that we can expect from this guy. Now I'm going to go ahead and go to JT Podcast. And we're going to play his video of him subtitling. So let me remove this and stop presenting. Stop sharing. Okay. So let me look for JT Podcast. His was pretty good because he came out with his when Neo Trends was still actually doing a live stream on this. It's a little over 3 minutes, and this is for us people who don't know how to speak Swahili and don't know how to speak Korean. All right, so let's see, JT Podcast. Okay, that was the live stream. So I'm just looking at his stuff here. Here we go. Here we go. So I'm going to share this. All right, let me go to the very front. Let me cue it in. All right, let me present it for you guys. All right. All right. So we're going to have it here. Add this. Okay. So actually, let me just do this in a larger screener. All right. So as you can see at the top of the video, it says Kuria. So some of the language is going to be in Kuria, some of it's going to be in Swahili, but at the bottom, for us who don't speak Kuria or Swahili, that's where you want to look at, because I had a feeling that JT was going to do this. As soon as this came out and I was watching Neo Trends and AM Carroll, I had a feeling that JT was going to jump on this. I'm glad he did. So that way he can translate it for every one of us. So let's go ahead and go and read these subtitles.
Angalia. Bro, this is what we call stupidity. Bro, Peter in a good manners, bro. Respect villagers. Respect villagers. Hakuna. Kuna baadhi ya vitu zenye inafaa. Angalia. This nonsense. Guys, this nonsense. Ona. This nonsense.
So you can see there that was a lot of damage there. I mean, just look at that, walking up on that. This driver is not a very good driver. And somebody could say probably, well, if you look to the left, you probably didn't have much room. No, there's plenty of room. It's a one-car lane, that's for sure. But he had plenty of room. I know this guy has probably ran over other people's property in other towns, other villages. And I can only imagine some of the people that caught him before. So I have a feeling that this particular driver has a habit of doing this because he's not very responsible. But let's go.
Ona. This nonsense. This nonsense. Stupidity. Hakuna. Hakuna.
Unajua anaongea ujinga. Anaongea ujinga.
Hakuna. Pita pole pole, bro. Pita pole pole. Pita pole pole. gonga hii,
Unaonyesha meno hapo na
gonga hii. Kwa hivyo hapa kuna njia ya government. There is no hakuna njia ya government hapa.
hii barabara. Wewe.
Government hapa.
Okay, so you look at the shirt. So that was definitely Mogesi. So Mogesi's putting his key in his bike, getting ready to start it. So when we're watching the struggle and I froze on his face, that was the same coat that he's wearing. So that was definitely Mogesi. So we confirm that.
Hii barabara. Wewe.
Okay, so this is Marwa saying, "I'll imprison you." So this is what Marwa and his family likes to do in that village. They like to threaten everybody that they're going to imprison somebody because they're paying off, they're bribing the police allegedly, right? They're bribing the police to do what they want to do at their will. So if somebody tries to come at them, they have the police in their back pocket. So allegedly, let's go.
Kuna kipima cha sheria.
And this is something that I don't think I heard anybody else say this today. Mogesi moved that bike out of the way. He wasn't really going there to circle around them. He was moving the bike out of the way so that way the truck can have more room to do what it's got to do. I mean, the person driving the truck has more room to do what he's got to do. So Mogesi had no, ill will intentions or anything like that. I've already seen some of the negative reactors. One making a comment in their title that Mogesi and somebody else was attacking Marwa. This is nonsense. This is Marwa and his uncle attacking Mogesi. Plain and simple.
Mzee na kuheshimu. Mzee na kuheshimu.
Kuna njia inapita hapa.
Unaongelesha. Mzee anakuongelesha.
Hivi Marwa akimwe. Kuna njia inapita hapa. Hata wewe unajua mimi sijaongea vibaya.
Hata mtoto wa mnato.
Kuna njia inapita hapa.
Wana huko hata. Wana huko hata. Huko hata wewe. Hayo huko hata.
Mama.
Pesa si
okay.
Wewe huko hata.
Angalia kama zile nini zimekanyoka vizuri.
Unapita wapi?
Angalia kama zile nini. Zile Doga alvege.
Hii kamera haiendi popote pale. Pesa. Na ulikuwa mbaya. Pesa. Foto na raha. Pesa. Foto na raha. Marwa.
Achana muruna. Shika aje mu.
Mungu mmoja yeni popote. Mungu mmoja mlisi.
Hata mkitango atiriento. Hata mkitango atiriento. Tango atiriento.
Okay, so I watched this video a couple times, but now I just caught it. Uncle, hold this bike for me. So the guy in the pink shirt, who definitely looks like Mogesi in the face, that's his uncle. So we got that confirmed. All right, so I hope everybody understands that this video, mainly on the Marwa family side, is basically the whole goal right now at this point is to try to get that camera away. So it's like, yeah, they didn't like him addressing the driver. They didn't like him addressing Marwa. And as well, obviously, now that Mo is reaching for the camera, addressing Marwa in the situation of struggling to keep his camera. So the whole goal here right now is to try to get that camera. And everybody pretty much is waiting to see if Marwa or somebody else on that side of the family, not the other reactors, are going to say something about this, because it would be interesting to see how they're going to frame this. And you could tell that this is a situation where Marwa did not want anybody to film him. But unfortunately, Nabahanzi is a place where a lot of people film. They take advantage of the cameras in their phones, and the people with GoPros, they're filming all the time. So imagine somebody probably that was there filming secretly, who's probably afraid of Marwa, and just filming and getting other angles. I would love to see the other angles of this, but clearly from what we see in this video, that Marwa and especially Uncle Mo is attacking Mogesi. Okay, so let's see what you guys are saying. Do you see Get Reba shooting a video tomorrow? Get Reba Village videos will be edited to show Mogesi as the aggressor, but we have already seen the truth. Yeah, I mean, this is the truth. This is the raw truth right here. It was not edited at all during that whole situation. And again, big up Mogesi for you doing this and sticking up with your uncle. Your uncle had every right to address the driver, every right to address Iam Marwa for even trying to address back that what he's doing is okay, which is not, which is basically saying, you know, let the driver do what he needs to do because he's here. Basically, he commissioned the driver. So basically, Marwa is responsible for that damage. Part of that is his responsibility. Evan Miller says Marwa appears to be seen very well without those weird glasses. Yeah, I was looking at that because I was trying to get a better thumbnail out of this. And when I noticed that both eyes were very active, so I can't remember if it's his left or his right, but I think Mogesi's camera is mirrored in the correct direction. So if I can remember, I think his left eye is the one that's damaged, but still, what I could see with him yelling and everything like that, both eyes were very active. It makes me kind of wonder if he can see a little bit in that other eye, you know, but he definitely doesn't need the glasses. The light doesn't hurt his eyes. I can't remember if he said it, but I think I heard somebody say he said that the light hurts his eyes, so he needs the glasses for that as well. I don't believe that at all. I really don't. Let's see here. Cecilia Herbert says, well, Kohara says anything about, okay, will Kohara say anything about his son? That'd be interesting. I don't watch the gentleman. I do hear sometimes from other reactors and some of the funny responses that they give based on his reactions, because some of his reactions when he speaks is funny, but it's also at the same time very, you know, if you're interested in this story, it's very educative about what is going on with that family. I don't care for gossip or anything like that. I just like to react. But the thing is that this is very interesting sometimes to me, but majority of the time it's not very interesting. And that's why I don't do much Marwa content. But something like this is something that some of us was not expecting at all. Some of us was expecting. We just knew it. And then Mogesi was the right person at the right time to catch this situation because the situation presented itself with that truck driver. And at the same time, I think even D. Mwanga was there. I can't remember. I have to watch this again. But, you know, this video is mostly fast moving. Thanks again, JT Podcast. Everybody, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Let me read another comment. Ava Miller says, Gintu says, Marwa can see a bit out of that bad eye. Okay, so that's what I thought. I didn't think that all the time, but after watching Mogesi's video today, it made me think that this guy can actually see out of that other eye a little bit. And if you can, that's actually a blessing. I mean, I'd rather have a little bit of vision in one of my eyes while my other eye is fine than not have any vision at all. Because, I mean, it's going to help you to track while you're walking and all this other stuff, track things moving around you. It's just a good situation. So if he could see a little bit out of his other eye, that's actually a blessing. And I think Marwa should consider that the situation that he's in, receiving a lot of money, he has to be responsible, receiving a lot of money from begging and YouTube. He needs to be responsible on how he spends that money. So if you're going to hire people, pay them. If you're going to address people, address them in the right way. Because I saw a video of him today, and I caught it probably a little bit after an hour, his premiere. When I came into the video, he was actually grilling, what's his name? Uncle Mo. And when he was grilling Uncle Mo, it was about somebody sending him 17,000 shillings. And it's this guy named Chris and some other guy and some type of scam. And what I thought he was blaming Uncle Mo to be a scammer. and they want to catch the scammer, I guess, that send money back to them, and within 5 minutes called Uncle Mo and said, send me back my money. You keep 1,400 shillings. So that's going to be interesting. Nairobi teacher, I know I sent you that video. If that would be a good one to react. I'm not going to react on it. However, it's interesting that this video that we just showed just happened not very long ago. And then he makes a premiere today, basically saying he's going to try to go after the scammer that sent money to Uncle Mo, while he allegedly is a scammer, right? He scams a lot of people out of money, allegedly, right? He's definitely a beggar. He admits that. He's a passport bro. He admits that. We see here he's violent with Mo to attack Mogesi. And at this point, everybody, I think what we need to do is not stop watching what's going on. I don't have all the time to watch all these other guys. I don't watch Mogesi's videos because I just don't have the time. So I wait on other reactors most of the time to see what they come out with. And then if it's something that I want to react on, I'm going to go ahead and react on it. But everybody, if you're here, go ahead and get the likes up. I'm going to go ahead and close out this live stream. Thank you very much for everybody coming in. And everybody who joined me on Kick, thank you for being here for my first live stream on Kick. And everybody, if you here at YouTube, you can also follow me on Kick at Kung Fu Fanta _KE for Kenya. So again, everybody, thank you for coming in. And on that note, this is Mr. Nice, and I'm out. Cheers.